The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Kerry Woods could be maybe one of the better pitchers that I've seen stuff-wise.
Well, Kerry Wood obviously is outstanding stuff. Everybody's excited today that he's here, and I think everybody in Chicago should be.
He's worked very hard to get here. I'm sure it's a very special moment for him and his family, and I'm sure a lot of that's going through his head.
As far as talent-wise, I don't think I've ever caught anybody as talented as him, as young as he is.
This kid could be very good. I think his makeup is good. He seems very competitive. And it's really going to be an exciting day because for the first time he's going to be in the major leagues, and we'll see how, in spring training he was outstanding. We'll just see how he reacts today to major league hitters.
Well, there's a new item on the Easter Sunday dinner menu here in Montreal, a full serving of Kerry Wood, as the Cubs and the Expos wrap up this three-game series. Good afternoon, everybody, and happy holidays from Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Dan Roan and Steve Stone, nice to have you with us for Cubs baseball this afternoon on WGN. And Steve, it's a pleasure to see the first pitch ever thrown by the rookie phenom Kerry Wood here this afternoon.
There's a lot of people going to be interested in the Masters today, and a lot of eyes down in Augusta. But the eyes of Texas and the baseball world all focused right here in Montreal on Kerry Wood. One start this year at AAA, 11 strikeouts, just one infield hit in 5 innings. Last year in 151 minor league innings, he gave up just 4 home runs. This young man with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball is trying to handcuff a lineup that, quite frankly, doesn't hit very well.
Not even 21 years old, barely looks 19 years old, and yet Mark Grace told me yesterday we could be seeing the second coming of Roger Clemens here this afternoon.
Well, I think he's got the best arm to ever come out of the Cub organization. He's not Greg Maddux yet, but you might be seeing the start of what promises to be an outstanding career.
We are looking forward to it. He'll be opposed by Dustin Hermanson of the Expos this afternoon. The finale of a 3-game series from Olympic Stadium in Montreal, and we'll be back with a first pitch right after this.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN. Brought to you by Bud Light. With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. The new Dodge. From cars to minivans to trucks, it's about change. The new Dodge. The Discover Card, the card that pays you back with a cashback bonus award. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. Pepsi, Generation Next. ComEd, providing customers with reliable electric service for over 100 years. And by Southwest Airlines, offering low fares and frequent flights. Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Chicago Cubs.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Here's your mail, Fred.
This saves me a trip.
Well, how's that?
Well, a while back, me and the missus heard about Premier Diabetic Services. We gave them a call, and now they send us all the diabetic supplies we need directly through the mail. The best part is it doesn't cost me a cent.
No kidding.
Yeah, mine's covered by Medicare, and Betty's is covered by her private insurance.
Sounds like you hit on a good thing, Fred.
Call Premier Diabetic today at 1-800-938-1615 to see if you qualify. That's 1-800-938-1615.
Here is an easy quiz. True or false? Dodge Caravan is America's best-selling minivan. Good. And right now, Grand Caravan comes with how much cash back? Very good. Now page 2. Check off which features come with this Caravan. Correct. Yet it's still America's lowest priced minivan at just, oh, very, very good. So please circle which minivan you want now. Excellent. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Welcome back to Montreal, and once again a happy Easter to everybody watching this afternoon. Dan Roan and Steve Stone, and right now our Cubs batting order brought to you by Pepsi. Brant Brown batting .538 and leading off in center field today. Mickey Morandini batting second. Sammy Sosa, Mark Grace, Henry Rodriguez at .389 in the number 5 hole this afternoon. Jeff Blauser, Kevin Ory, Scott Service, and there he is, the pitcher, Kerry Wood, making his major league debut today.
And the defense for Felipe Alou's very young Montreal Expos. White, Santangelo, and Guerrero left to right in the infield. Andrews, Grzelcyk, Vidro, and Brad Fulmer, the talented young first baseman, and a battery of Chris Widger. And hard-throwing Dustin Hermanson. This is his 3rd start of the year. You look at the record, 0-1, a .450 ERA. He was relegated to the bullpen until Felipe Alou decided he would make an experiment last year. And that experiment was start him. He did the same thing with Jeff Facero. The rest is history. And hopefully for Montreal, the young man on the mound can do the same thing Facero did.
He is one of the 2 best pitchers to ever come out of Kent State University.
Known as the Harvard of the Midwest and the Mecca of starting pitchers.
Known by that by you and nobody else. The first pitch of the afternoon by Hermanson, and Brown tries to lay it down, fouls it back over the screen, and we are underway in the rubber game of this series. The Cubs pounded out a 13-0 victory Friday, but came up a run short in extra innings yesterday as the Expos beat them for the first time in 6 tries this season.
Hermanson does have a fastball, slider, and change. He was originally drafted by San Diego, the 3rd pick in the 1st round of the June 1994 draft, and he was drafted as a closer.
Another foul ball off the bat of Brant Brown, who got this series off to a ripping start when he hit the first pitch Friday night over the dead center field fence for a home run. First of 16 hits for the Cubs on Friday night. Oh boy, that one looked a little bit tight.
Well, Frank Pulley behind the plate, and they've been calling the inside corner all series. This is a bullet of a fastball. It's on the corner. Frank Pulley rings him up. The reaction of Brant Brown, and
well,
not exactly an Easter Bunny look.
Well, Mickey Morandini standing in. Mickey 262 on the year with 5 RBIs.
Hermanson has good movement on the fastball. It moves away from the left-handers, and if he keeps it away, you're forced to go to left and left center field.
Chased the high one that time and couldn't get it.
Well, he's trying to do exactly what the Dodgers right-hander Darren Dreifort is trying to do. That's go from being a stopper to a starter.
The umpires this afternoon: Frank Pulley has the plate, Charlie Williams at first, Ed Rapuano at second, and Bruce Dreckman down at third. 1-2 pitch evens the count at 2-2.
Hermanson at 6'2", 200 pounds, out of Springfield, Ohio, now makes his home in Phoenix, Arizona. 8-8 last year for Montreal. He got 28 starts, completed 1 game, but that was his first year as a starter.
Off to a good start today as he strikes out Morandini for out number 2.
And that's the biggest difference in Dustin Hermanson from his short relief days to his starting days. It's a good straight change, and he's worked on it. And if you're going to be a starting pitcher, you have to have something to show these hitters the 3rd and 4th time around, and that straight change is the pitch.
Morandini couldn't get it, and now Sammy Sosa will try out Hermanson. Sammy having a good series with a home run yesterday. 4 for 8 and comes in batting .354 for the season. Good rip and a foul straight back. Strike 1.
Sammy Sosa yesterday got a slider from Anthony Telford and took it out over the wall, and that tied it up at 4.
Sammy's 2nd home run this season, and a swing and a foul back to the screen. He's behind 0-2.
Well, Sammy 2 for 7 lifetime against Hermanson, and lo and behold, both of those hits home runs. And if Hermanson gets careless with the changeup, that's what could happen here. Is Sammy having a very good series against his young Expo pitching staff.
The 0-2 pitch. Sammy went down to get it, fouled it off the right side, and the count holds at 0-2. There's the kid, 20-year-old Kerry Woods, sitting in a major league dugout for the first time in a regularly scheduled game. Didn't make it to Montreal until yesterday afternoon, so he didn't even get a chance to come out and watch the game yesterday, much less ever play in one before.
Well, you have to believe the Butterflies are certainly right where they should be, but outwardly he doesn't look all that nervous.
Hey, he's a cool customer.
Calm, composed, and ready to go.
0-2 pitch. Sammy smacks another one foul.
Well, you've got to believe after the slider that Hermanson's going to do what the Expos have tried to do on Sammy with the guys who can do it, namely Uguet Urbina, and that is throw the high heat and try to throw it right by him. Felipe Alou found his ball club, winning their second game of the year yesterday.
Another slider, and he struck him out. So a terrific start for Dustin Hermanson, striking out the side in the first inning. And now Kerry Woods to the mound. We'll be back with his first pitch right after this.
François, dis-moi comment tu te sens. J'ai besoin de savoir ce que tu ressens. Tu es tout. Aujourd'hui, pour toujours, je ne pourrai jamais vivre sans toi.
Want to get away? Southwest has your ticket to freedom. Fly for only $39 with Southwest Airlines Fun Fares.
You are now free to move about the country.
Take me out to the wild. Take me out to the wild. Buy something and say crackers out. I don't care if I ever get back home. It's root. It's root for the fire.
John Lithgow performs the Discover Card Dial-Along song.
An extemporaneous piece.
Provided for your dialing pleasure while you call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2 and apply for your Discover card, the card with the cashback bonus award that always pays you back.
That was a nice surprise.
And that's music to everyone's ears. It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2. Accepted where you see the Nova sign.
Back in Montreal, Kerry Woods about to make his major league debut, and he'll face this lineup from Montreal: Grzelcyk, Santangelo, Guerrero, Fulmer, White, Vidro, Widger, Andrews, and the pitcher Hermanson.
And the defense: Rodriguez, Brown, and Sosa. In the infield: Ori, Blauser, Morandini, and Grace.
First pitch, a fastball, as we might have expected, down and in, ball one.
The only thing I'm concerned about is the youngster being so psyched up that he has some problems with the strike zone.
He's bringing it. Little upstairs there. 2-0 now, and there are the minor league career numbers for Kerry Woods, Steve, and very impressive.
Well, they're phenomenally impressive, especially when you look at 278 minor league innings and 171 hits, 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's otherworldly stats.
2-1 pitch is down low. 3-1 to Grzelcyk, who comes into today's action batting .244 with a homer and a couple of RBIs. Pesky #1 hitter in this Montreal lineup. .3-1 pitch swung on and fouled back, twisting up the right side and out of play. So the count goes full at 3-2. .3-2 pitch, struck him out. So Kerry Woods fans the first batter he faces in the major league, and here's what his catcher today, Scott Service, had to say about his stuff before the game.
outstanding young guy with great stuff. Overpowering fastball, really, at times. He's 95, 96. He can get it up to 98, 99 once in a while, and I'm sure he'll have a lot of adrenaline going today. But real good fastball, sharp breaking curveball. Slider and changeup are probably still in the development stage, but he'll work on those. He'll mix them in here or there, but pretty much fastball, curveball today.
And another fastball to start off FP Santangelo, and that one's in there for a strike.
I'm just happy that Grzelcyk swung at that pitch because that was ball 4, and it sure helps out a youngster when you can fan the first man you faced.
He was just trying to get some lumber on that. There's that big curveball. We see it for the first time today.
FP tried to get in front of that a la Craig Biggio. He tried to let that ball hit him, but fortunately it did miss him.
Fastball rides in high. You can see Kerry, I wouldn't say hyperventilating, but he's breathing pretty heavily out there. I know he's really pumped up and excited about this. And like you said, Steve, you hope he doesn't take that a bit too far.
Well, he's already done better than I did in my major league debut. I gave up a base hit on a 3-2 pitch to Dave Campbell, and then a guy named Stahl hit a 2-run homer. After 2 hitters, I had the infinite ERA, so the youngster's well ahead of my pace.
Just missed on the inside corner. That's where Brant Brown was called out on strikes in the first inning, but the base runner for the first time this afternoon, and Vladimir Guerrero, a Cub killer yesterday in extra innings against Terry Adams, smoked it over Brown's head in center field to drive home the winning run in the 10th inning, as the Expos picked off the 5-4 victory. That was Guerrero's 4th RBI this season. He's batting .250, and he fouls one back to the screen, strike 1.
And something to bear in mind, I don't believe that Kerry Wood uses a slide step, and you might see a guy like Santangelo, who is a base stealing threat, try to test him early.
Got a pretty good lead down there. Not going. Swung on and missed, and right past him. Oh, 2 to Guerrero, and that baby was moving.
Guerrero just shaking his head. You're never going to catch up to the ball up there, and if you swing at it, you're going down on strikes. Might as well try another one up there.
0-2 pitch. Fouled back. He got a chunk of it. I don't know how he did.
Well, so far we've seen 5 hitters in this game, and we haven't seen any contact yet. 3 strikeouts by Hermanson, a strikeout and a walk by Kerry Wood.
We'll get one in fair territory here before too long. There's the breaking ball, slipped out of the hand of Kerry Wood, and that one's up high for a ball. It's 1-2 to Guerrero, with cleanup hitter Brad Fulmer on deck and Rondell White after him, should we get that far. Breaking ball, and a good one. Guerrero just stuck his bat out and fouled it off the end.
I think it's going to take a few more pitches before Kerry Wood has a real good feel for that curveball, because right now the adrenaline is pumping. He's trying to throw everything too hard. Curveball is not a velocity pitch, it's a rotation pitch. And when it comes to him, it's usually unhittable.
Back off to the right side again. So Guerrero hanging tough against the kid. He's fouled off 4 pitches and hangs in there with a count of 1-2.
That probably was called from Scott Service, who noticed that Wood hadn't thrown at all to first base. Louis Pujols, the first base coach, has a little stopwatch, and they're timing the move of Kerry Wood to home plate.
Not going. Swung on and missed. The breaking ball got him. Guerrero down on strikes, and that's 2 whiffs in the first inning for Kerry Wood.
Curveball hangs up there for a bit, but then drops at the end. And you see Guerrero starts up, but the ball just breaks under the swing. So although it wasn't his best, it was good enough to overmatch Guerrero.
And Brad Fulmer stands in. with 2 away and a runner on first. Fulmer at .333, picked up an RBI yesterday, his 3rd of the season. The cleanup hitter in Felipe Alou's order today.
Now the first time out, Kerry Wood threw 80 pitches in 5 innings. And today, talking with Jim Riggleman, he said they'll let him go 100 pitches. So we're not on an innings count, but we are on a pitch count. And we'll see how long that takes Kerry into this game.
Swing and a miss.
Well, so far, the Expos and the Cubs have been swinging at the invisible ball.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. As we pointed out this weekend and through the years, this is not a great ballpark for a hitter to see the baseball from the pitcher. It's kind of a dark and dingy place, especially with this roof on.
Oh, I think it was an ideal spot to throw Kerry Wood. You're on the road. You don't have the pressure of the Wrigley Field faithful. He's not going to get booed here because there's not that many fans around, and it's a tough place to see any kind of spin on the curveball.
Well, that one's fair, right at Sosa, and he plays it on a hop and then juggles Santangelo onto third base, and Sammy didn't play that one very well.
Well, this will be interesting because Santangelo stopped at second, and we'll see if they give Sammy an air. It is definitely a base hit, but Santangelo stopped at second base, and then he takes off and goes to third. So yes, indeed, it is a base hit, and yes, indeed, they do charge Sammy with another error. You see him stop there. He was going to hold up, but when he saw Sammy drop it, he went on to third.
So runners at the corners now in the first inning, and Rondell White steps in. 314, a homer, and 7 knocked in, and takes a strike at the knees. Talking about not seeing the ball very well, Steve. I don't think Sammy saw that one come off the bat, or at least was fooled by it, because he got a terrible jump on it. Not a huge crowd here in Montreal on this Easter Sunday, but probably between 17 and 20,000. Breaking ball dips low. It's 2-1. Kerry Wood turns 21 on the 16th of June.
Well, now you've got to be careful in that Rondell White, even though the fastball's coming up there 96, 97, Rondell White knows that the young man's probably going to throw a fastball here. And Rondell White is a quality hitter.
Big pitch in the first inning. Fouled it straight back. Nothing but heat there, babe, and it went right back to the screen. He was on it, but couldn't get all of it.
Well, when you foul it straight back, you're right on the pitch. And fortunately, Rondell, a little under it, fouled it straight back. So Kerry Wood, a strike away from getting out of his first major league inning, unscored upon.
3-2 pitch. Fouled back again. Jose Vidro, the second baseman, waiting on deck should he get a chance to come up here. Dustin Hermanson struck out the side in the first inning for the Expos, and Kerry Wood trying to follow suit here. And that one fouled back again. I hope they have the extra large supply of baseballs today, because we've lost about a dozen already.
Well, when you have a lively fastball, you find a lot of hitters swinging just under it because that ball hops at the last instant, and you get a lot of pop-ups and a lot of balls fouled back.
We'll do it again. The 3-2 pitch to Rondell White. Breaking ball on the ground toward Blauser. Bobbles, recovers, throws him out by a step, but the inning is over. So Kerry Wood wriggles off the hook in his first major league inning. We've played one, and there's no score in Montreal.
What's that? What's what?
Iceberg! Right ahead!
Need a new fishing boat? New fishing gear? Your favorite auto parts store's gone fishing. Napa's giving away die-wall fishing kits with Yozuri lures at every store and 8 Ranger boats with Evinrude motors. Come on in for the Gone Fishing sweepstakes and sale. Get the Alpine Gear Multifunction Toolkit 3-pack for only $9.99.
Here's your chance to see Wrigley Field like you've never seen it before. Take an official Wrigley Field tour. Visit the Cubs clubhouse, the dugout, the playing field, and more. It's a Cubs fan's dream come true. Call 312-831-CUBS today for ticket information and tour dates. Catch plenty of Cubs action on your computer. Visit the Chicago Cubs website at www.cubs.com for live broadcasts, daily stats and game notes, player information, online access to tickets, and more. Visit the Cubs website today at www.cubs.com.
Lighter yet stronger. More power from less space. More space from less size. A drag coefficient among the lowest in the world. There's more than a pattern emerging here. It's the world's first use of cyber synthesis, where vehicles are designed, built, and tested in the virtual world so they'll perform better in the real world. The new Durango and the new Intrepid. New vision from the new Dodge.
Top of the second inning in Montreal. Scott Service over to shake the hand of Kerry Woods. Said, hey, buddy, you got out of it. Did a good job in the first inning.
Well, first of all, here's a guy 20 years old in his first major league start, and after Rondell White, who was a great fastball hitter, fouled back a couple of good fastballs, he got him with the curveball 3-2. That's a lot of confidence in your breaking pitch in your first major league start. I'm going to say Gracie's going to make contact and break up this 3 strikeout situation.
That's a pretty good bet. Takes one outside for a ball. He may wind up with a base on balls before it's over with. And you'll lose the bet.
Well, we'll see.
Gracie had a big day yesterday and stands in there batting .405 for the young season with no homers and 4 knocked in. Swung on and slapped foul down the left side.
Dustin's got those good sideburns going. And you see the Cubs, 3rd in the league behind Colorado and St. Louis. Those 2 teams have been playing one another and batting the ball all the way around the yard up there.
Shot up the middle, and that's through for a base hit. Good call, son. So the Cubs get their first base runner of the afternoon on Grace's ground ball single through the middle.
Mark Grace breaks up the no-hit bid as he takes it back up the middle, and a big group of Cub fans looking on. Jim Seagrave, Joe Lupo, Chris Bishop, and Sybil and Phil Diagardi watching the game at the Stardust in Las Vegas.
I thought you said they were on hand.
Well, they are. They're on hand at the Stardust. Part of the Arnie Harris fan club.
A very small part.
It's easy to join the fan club. You just buy Arnie a meal.
Well, like we said, it's a very big club. Henry Rodriguez, 5 for 5 on Friday night, batting .389 for the season with 4 homers, leading the Cubs in that category, and 9 runs knocked in. Grace, pretty good lead down at first, and Henry hit it hard to center field, but should be playable out there for Santangelo, and it is. Grace trying to tag, and he's going to make it. In under the tag, and Mark Grace with some heads-up base running gets himself into scoring position with 1 out.
Well, actually, this turned out to be a real bad tag by Grzelcyk because a throw beat him. Yet a good call by Ed Rapuano. He didn't take it for granted that the ball beats Grace. He watched the hand of Grace and will slow it down for you. Santangelo makes a good throw. Mark Grace decides to test his arm, and then it's up to the slide, and Mark goes head first and gets the benefit of the call.
So the Cubs have a runner in scoring position for the first time, and here's the finish of the play at second base.
The throw got there early, but by the time Grzelcyk came back across the bag, Mark had slid around the tag.
Jeff Blauser takes a strike to start things off. Jeff Batting .333 with 4 runs batted in.
And now the arms at the corners pretty good with Rondell White and Vladimir Guerrero. So this is a pretty good throwing outfield now for the Expos.
Medium deep and straight away for Blauser, who takes strike 2.
Well, I do know if Hermanson keeps getting that call, he's going to be tough, because that ball was a good 3-4 inches off the outside corner.
The 0-2. Grace bluffed to move to third. I don't think we're going to see that.
I'll tell you, Mark's running a whole lot better this year, and that was an aggressive heads-up play, tagging up, knowing that Santangelo was moving toward his left into right center and moving away from the throw.
Blauser fouls it up the right side, holding the count at 1-2.
You'd have to figure that Hermanson will go back to that slider, and if he does, Blauser has to look toward right field with the base hit. Hermanson's slider, an excellent pitch, and he's exploding that slider today so far.
Swing and a miss, and the bat flies all the way down past third base.
Well, there was the slider, and you saw it just dive low and away from Blauser. He pulled off it, and it cost him a strikeout. Great location. That goes flying, as did the left shoulder of Jeff Blauser, and there's the strikeout.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Dan Roan and Steve Stone back in Montreal. We are in the top of the second inning. No score yet. The debut game for Cubs rookie right-hander Kerry Woods. Kevin Ory standing in there now. Last year's rookie sensation takes a strike on another slider from Hermanson.
And last year, 44 runs batted in all year for Kevin Ory. This year, 9 already. One of the reasons he hits 5th in the batting order when the left-handers start. He's tied with Henry Rodriguez, 1 behind Sammy Sosa for the team lead.
That one off the corner, 1-1. Hermanson's got that facial stuff going on. He's kind of an imposing guy out there on the hill. And when he puts it there, he's really going to be imposing.
Well, that slider low and away. Again, he's getting a couple inches outside. And if you keep throwing it there, 3-4 inches off the corner, you can't hit it out there. You just have to try to spoil it.
Ory falls behind in the count, 1-2, with 2 out and a runner at second base. And here it is. Swung on and caught by Jose Vidro to take a run away from the Cubs. Vidro to his left to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score in Montreal.
Budner, get these tax documents to our clients fast, but watch our costs.
FedEx can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11. UPS can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11.
Priority Mail can deliver it in 2 to 3 days for $3.
Smart move, Budner.
So, 11, 11, 3, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
So these are really Tim McGraw's jeans?
The genuine article.
How'd you get them?
You'd be surprised what some people do for a cold Bud Light on a hot day.
Yeah, right.
Bud Light is proud to sponsor Tim McGraw.
Our most powerful computers use trillions and trillions of ones and zeros to extract 200 horsepower from just 2.7 liters of aluminum. to balance the equation of driving comfort and driving exhilaration. To create abundant space within a slippery cab-forward shape. Then, with just 3 digits, we made it affordable. The new Dodge Intrepid. 34 trillion bytes to build it. $289 a month to lease it.
Nobody does it like you.
A revolving brush or 5 rotating brushes, a manual hand tool or one powered with 2 more brushes. The choice is easy.
Nobody
Steam Vac Ultra.
does it like you.
Mark your calendars now, because Sunday, April 19th is your chance to receive a Mark Grace Authentic starting lineup compliments of Ballpark Franks. The first 10,000 children attending the Cubs-Dodgers game on April 19th receive a Mark Grace Authentic starting lineup. Jose Vidro, who made the running grab of the line drive by Kevin Ory to end the Cubs' second inning, stands in there to lead off here and fouls one back. He's down 0-2.
Vidro came up with a big hit yesterday. He drove in the 4th run in the 6th inning. And other than that, he hasn't done a whole lot of hitting. So when you're hitting 130, the last man you want to look out at is Kerry Wood.
0-2. Struck him out on 3 pitches. The 3rd strikeout for the kid, who threw 29 pitches in that opening inning, Steve. 12 balls, 17 strikes. And if he is on a 100 pitch count today, he's not going to be around all that long unless he starts to get rid of him a little bit more quickly, like he did Vidro here.
Well, that was a biting curveball, and that was the best curveball by far he's thrown. It shows you that it's equally tough on the left-hand hitters as it is on the right-hand hitters.
Chris Widger holds up on the fastball up high. Widger, another one of those guys struggling toward the bottom of the Expos lineup, batting 138 without a homer or an RBI so far this year. His bat sails into the crowd and dings somebody over there near the Cubs dugout. Everybody's okay, though.
I hope she's okay, because that one whistled into the seats.
I think it got her on the hand. You get another look at it right here.
Watch it again.
Oh.
The bat goes flying. The ball is fouled back. And everybody seems to be okay. Seems to be all right. And Dan, when you have a bottom part of your order, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 130, 138, 067 in the pitcher, you got a real good idea you best do it at the top of the order.
1-1 pitch, right down central and moving.
You got a choice. You want to strike him out on the curveball or the good heat?
Let's try the breaking ball here. 1-2. Strike 3 with a fast one, and the bat never came off Widger's shoulder there.
Well, not much doubt about this. It's a bullet of a fastball, and apparently Widger was guessing that it wouldn't come anywhere near the plate. He was wrong.
Well, he threw 29 pitches in the first inning. He's thrown 7 pitches this inning, and they've all been strikes, all but one. And that one's a strike 2. Shane Andrews, the 3rd baseman, batting 067. He's been up 15 times and has 1 hit.
Well, the Cubs have known that as soon as Kerry Wood was able to get the ball over the plate, he would be in the major leagues, because nobody's hit him anywhere.
Another biting curveball. Dips outside, even the count at 1-1. It was a great story you told the other day about Terry Collins and what he had to say about Kerry Wood and the Cubs pitching staff.
We'll go back to spring training, and he said, I've got to pick the Cubs to win the division. As he looked out at Kerry Wood, he said, because I know they're sending this young man down, and if they have 5 better starters than Kerry Wood, there is nobody in the division going to beat them.
That one hit hard to right field, and Sammy's on the run. Now backtracking a bit, makes the catch, and the inning is over. So a quick and easy one for Kerry Wood. We're through 2 in Montreal, and we're scoreless.
This is my life. I have 5 kids. Maggie, Katie, Molly, Aaron, and Ryan.
I want to be a lawyer, but there aren't any law schools where I live. So twice a week, after I get the kids off to school, I go to law school in another state. Southwest has lots of flights, so I get back in time to tuck my kids into bed.
A for ingenuity.
My kids take the bus to school. I take the plane.
You are now free to move about the country.
A lot of times when something goes wrong with your car, you know it right away. But some parts, like shock absorbers, tend to wear out gradually over time. So gradually that many drivers fail to realize just how worn their shocks have become. So rather than wait until it's painfully obvious that you need new shocks, stop by your nearest AutoZone. Right now, when you buy 3 Gabriel Gas Rider shocks or struts, you get the 4th one free, only at AutoZone.
With AT&T One Rate, it costs $2.40 to make a 16-minute call from Miami to Chicago. With 10321, it's $4.47. With One Rate, it costs $1.20 to make an 8-minute call from Boston to Dallas. With 10321, it's $2.23. Surprised? Don't be. Most calls from home cost less with One Rate, without dialing any extra digits. Now, what state would you rather be in? If you don't have One Rate, get it today.
How a secret agent eats a Reese's peanut butter cup.
I slip in unnoticed, penetrate the defenses, secure the discs, then destroy the evidence.
There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
WGN, 50 years as Chicago's very own.
That's Tommy Harper talking with Frank Pulley between innings, and you can almost read his lips. I'm sure he's saying, is he throwing as hard as I think he's throwing? And Frank Pulley probably saying, yeah, I'm afraid he is. Tommy just could laugh. He's been around a long time, seen a lot of pitchers. But so far it's been a most impressive debut, and so far on the other side, Dustin Hermanson is matching Kerry Woods pitch for pitch.
Each pitcher has 4 strikeouts through 2 innings, and the Cubs started off in the 3rd here with Scott Service. That one misses high and outside. Steve, you've seen Kerry Woods, and you've seen a lot of pitchers over the years during your playing days and broadcasting days. How does his stuff rank with some of the people that you've seen?
Well, there's been a lot of great pitchers to come into the National League. Dwight Gooden was sensational when he broke in with the Mets. I'm just going to go in my 16 years with the Cubs and when I played for the Cubs for 3 years. I don't know how Kerry Woods is going to turn out because you never know about injuries or anything else. He simply has the best arm I've ever seen to come out of the Cub organization. And again, with a caveat saying he might not be the best pitcher ever to come out, but his stuff is so sharp, his fastball moves so much, and the velocity is such, and the liveliness of the fastball is such that he has almost an unlimited ceiling. He can really be as good as his health will allow him to be. And I told people in the spring that this will be the best young arm you'll have ever seen coming out of the Cubs organization. Not a lot of people believed it, but you're seeing it here today. It's really an awesome performance when you realize how many butterflies he has to have. And it also was a great place to break him in because this isn't a real powerful Expo team, yet they're still major leaguers. And it's a great place to pitch because I don't think you see the ball in this dome real well.
Certainly off to a great start here this afternoon. Scott Service, check swing roller down toward first. Hermanson gets over to cover, and that's out number 1.
I was also at the debut of James Rodney Richard. 1972 was the second game of a doubleheader against the Giants, and he took the mound, and we all looked over at this guy warming up. He was 6'8". You couldn't see the ball in his hand because he obscured it, and he went out in his first National League start. He struck out 15, and everybody went back to the bench and they said, who is this guy? And nobody could believe how hard he was throwing. And of course J.R. Richard went on to have quite an illustrious career until the stroke, but I think that still is the record for first National League start, 15 strikeouts.
Kerry gets a piece of one at the plate, fouls it off. He's down 0-2. This must be a big thrill in itself for a 20-year-old kid standing up there and batting in the major leagues. Got a piece, ground ball to shortstop. Not a bad deal there, although he's thrown out for the second out of the inning.
I think he's probably going to be able to hit. You know that he was a real good athlete. You can see it just in his mannerisms on the mound. And he took a pretty good cut at a tough right-hander. This Expo team averages 26.7 years of age, so it's a very young team. Also, experience-wise, just over 2 years of major league experience on the average.
Cubs leadoff hitter Brant Brown stands in. Looked at a called third strike his first time up. Got a good rip that time and knocked it into center field. A one hopper to Santangelo, and Brant Brown is aboard with the second Cub hit of the afternoon.
It's a pretty good combination to run against as Brant Brown hits this ball right on the button. He loves low fastballs. I remember watching him face Chan Ho Park when they timed him at 97 miles an hour, and Brant took an ankle-high fastball out of the ballpark at Wrigley Field.
Pretty good lead at first base by Brown, not going here, and a foul ball off the bat of Morandini.
Well, here's a situation. If you have a choice, you'd rather lead off with Morandini than Sosa next inning. So there's no reason not to run with Brant Brown, and a lot of teams have had success, mostly last year against Widger. This year he started out throwing the ball a little better, but we've seen a couple of errant throws at second.
Move over by Hermanson, and I think Brown was on his way that time.
Well, I'd have to send him, and even if he gets thrown out, you lead off with Morandini, and that's a lot better than leading off with Sammy.
Got a foot right on the edge of the turf, on the seam of the dirt in that cutout area. Throw back over there again.
Now Widger will occasionally look over into the dugout to see if perhaps Felipe Alou might want a pitch out here. And when you're ahead 0-1, it's not necessarily a bad idea.
Not going. Swung on. Back up through the middle. Vidro throws out Morandini, and the inning is over. So a moot point as Morandini grounds out to end it in the Cubs' third, and we head for the bottom of the third, still scoreless at Olympic Stadium.
The all-new Grass Gator 4-line power head will instantly turn your trimmer into a powerful cutting machine. Forget bump and feed spool trimmers. They're a hassle, wasting time and energy. The Grass Gator 4-line head performs better than ordinary 2-line heads. And look how easy it is to install. Changing line is a snap. Simply thread it through and you're ready to go. Look how great the Grass Gator 4-line power head eats through this tall grass. If it doesn't have an alligator on the package, you're working too hard. Available at fine home centers worldwide.
This is the interior of the burliest sport utility in its class. The one that can tow and carry more than any other. Now that's probably hard to believe when you're surrounded by all this. So to underscore the new Dodge Durango's serious credentials, I'm not only standing beside the most powerful V8 in the class, I'm wearing this manly flannel shirt. Durango. New ground for the new Dodge.
Scott's is a name you can trust. They've been around for years. Now they've got mowers.
You can get a multi-mower, you can get a rear bagger, you can get a side discharge.
You're going to have an easy pull start. All you got to do is push the button once, pull it.
Power propelled, you know, you're going to stand behind one and the mower just goes. All you got to do is hold it and just walk for a while.
Then from there you can go all the way up to the tractors.
The front end is a solid cast iron piece of material.
You have a great cup holder back here to drink soda while you're lawn mowing here.
They are a beautiful color, just like Home Depot orange.
A participating advertiser in Cubs baseball is CarQuest, supplying over 130,000 top quality parts. Call 1-800-492-PART for the nearest location.
Back at Olympic Stadium in Montreal, Kerry Woods, the Cubs rookie phenom right-hander, stands in there for the third inning. Did a great job so far. 4 strikeouts through 2. And the pitcher, Dustin Hermanson, up there. No sense messing around with him.
Well, Hermanson, lifetime 104 hitter. So you just want to throw fastballs right down the middle and just challenge him. See how far he can hit it.
3-0. So a rocky start with the pitcher at the plate. And there's ball 4. So a quick 4-pitch walk to his Expos counterpart, and that's not a good way to start the inning. Treat yourself or your favorite Cubs fan to Vineline, the Cubs monthly newspaper. Vineline provides a year-round package of Cubs coverage for fans nationwide. Subscription rates start at just $19.95. 2-year subscribers receive a free copy of the Ryne Sandberg Day commemorative program. To order, call 773-404-CUBS. Top of the order now for the Expos. Mark Grudzielanek swings at one in the dirt. Good stop by Service there as the pitcher Hermanson hangs on at first base.
The spin on that breaking ball is so tight that the hitter can't pick it up, and that's what makes it such a tough pitch. You think it's a fastball, has a lot of spin on it, and he throws it with so much velocity that a guy actually swings at the motion before he sees the ball getting up there.
Fastball there, hit into center field, but Brant Brown back there to grab it as Hermanson retreats to first base, and there's one away.
Well, there's a look at the man we call the coach, Ron Santo, on the right. Now, a couple of nights ago, he slipped in his bathtub at the hotel, and fortunately, he's okay, but he banged up his knee. I suggested to his partner, Pat Hughes, that he get him a set of those diving fins that they wear. Give him a little traction so he can plod around in the bathroom without any fear of slipping again, because we need the coach this year.
The dreaded shower injury.
Well, you can come away with a nasty injury with that.
That's about all we need to say about it, I think. Santangelo in there. He walked in the first inning.
Always have to be aware of the bunt. He was put up as a pinch hitter yesterday and played a big part in the victory when he laid down a perfect bunt.
Yeah, put it right on the third baseline and made Kevin Ory make a decision that may not have been the proper one at that point, one that he had to make. The ball may have rolled foul, but Kevin had to make the play, and then maybe a missed call at first base really cost the Cubs, and eventually the Expos went on to win the game. Santangelo ducks out of the way, one of those fastballs.
Well, again, if he misses Santangelo, that's when Phil Regan's going to have to go out to have a talk with the young man.
.30 pitch. Got that one right down the middle.
Louis Pujols, the first base coach, talking with Hermanson. Grace is going to be behind him. Now you wonder if they would run with him. See Mark Grace well behind him.
On the corner, strike 2. Not a real big lead, even though Grace is playing behind him.
Well, in this instance, especially with a strikeout pitcher, you want to make sure that Guerrero comes to bat this inning. So I think he's staying right there.
3-2 pitch way outside, and the Expos now with 2 on and 1 away, and it's Guerrero who struck out in the first, but who has hit some balls very hard in this series.
Well, it's Scott Service who goes to the mound. And another factor here, when you're working on a 100-pitch limit, and that's what Kerry Wood is today. Now, they might let him go over a few pitches, but you'd like to see him get through the 6th. The way things are going now with the pitches piling up, that might not be the case.
Runners at second and first for Vladimir Guerrero. .244 hitter on the season. Couple of home runs, couple of doubles and a triple so far this season. He's got some pop. Won the game yesterday with a double off the center field fence in the 10th inning. Swing and a miss, and a good fastball from Kerry Wood.
Guerrero swings through it, once again pulling out, which really sets up anything out away from him. He'll have a hard time getting to it if he opens up that left shoulder. Guerrero's an excellent hitter. Off to what for him is a pretty slow start.
Swung on, broken bat, shot to center, base hit. Brown's throw is cut off by Grace, and now they have him hung up. The throw to the plate, and he's out. Scott Service blocking the dish, and Grace with a great heads-up play found the pitcher Hermanson hung up between third and home and gunned him down at the plate.
Well, there was an example of some real bad base running. And Hermanson stopped and started and stopped and started. Mark Grace can't believe that Hermanson actually stopped again, and he tries to get by Scott Service. Now watch. He's running through the stop sign, and then he goes, stops, goes again, and stumbles home. That's a real bad effort.
That may make a few highlight films across two countries tonight.
The Cubs get a tremendous break.
Second out of the inning, made at the plate by the pitcher Hermanson. And now Fulmer with runners at first and second. He singled his first time up. Strike one. Boy, what a break. There's that good breaking ball down low, though. 1-1. Two hits for Montreal this afternoon off Kerry Wood in 2 2/3 innings. 3 walks issued by the rookie right-hander. That one took some off there, Steve, and got him to swing and miss.
Good straight change when you've established the fastball and curve. You can't possibly go up there looking for the straight change. That's the pitch that will really tell the tale for him. If he gets that one over to go with a fastball and the good curve, it'll be awfully tough.
1-2 pitch. Hit foul just outside first base. Fastball that Fulmer got around on and pulled foul.
Well, Felipe Alou, evaluating Fulmer, says that he has one of the better swings to ever come out of the Montreal organization. That's why he made him the only rookie ever to hit cleanup for this team. And he believes that Fulmer is going to be in line for consideration for Rookie of the Year, and he started off doing just about everything Felipe Alou thought he would do.
He's got a chance here to put the Expos on top. 2 on, 2 out, third inning. And the pitch is a breaking ball just inside. Count goes even at 2-2. Baby face in a grown man's body.
He didn't like what Scott Service wanted him to throw. So they're going out there. Obviously, Scott knows the hitters just a little better than Kerry Wood, who is seeing them for the first time, seeing this ballpark for the first time. And the way Fulmer swung at the straight change, maybe Scott Service wanted him to go back to the straight change, and Kerry Wood shook it off. So we'll see what the twosome decides.
A look back at second, and to the plate, breaking ball. Got a piece of somebody down there. I don't know if it was Fulmer or Service. Two-two pitch. Shot to left center. That's in for extra bases. 1 run is home. Here comes another man around to score on a double by Brad Fulmer. And the Expos score first on Easter Sunday.
Kerry Wood went back to the fastball, and Fulmer just rifled this. Fastball out over the plate. RBIs 4 and 5 for Fulmer. And Kerry Wood is finding what all pitchers find out in this league. If you walk people, they come home to roost. There's 2 walks in the inning. The Expos have scored 2 runs, and now the bullpen up and going, and it's Amari Telemaco.
Rondell White takes a strike. White bounced out to Jeff Blauser in the first inning.
Seemed like the same pitch that Hermanson was getting, and Kerry Wood did not get that call.
I don't know how you throw it any better than that. 1-1. Another breaking ball. You're right, Steve. He doesn't quite have command of that breaking pitch yet. He's throwing some good ones, but a lot have slipped and have hung up there inside and high.
Kerry Wood officially the youngest player in the major leagues. Mike Caruso, Andrew Jones, Javier Martinez, and Damian Moss, all just a little bit older than Kerry Wood.
2-2 pitch, ground ball, second base. Morandini's got it, and the inning is over, but not before the Expos get a couple. On 2 hits and a couple of walks. We played 3 in Montreal. It's 2-0 Expos.
Your heart's pounding, adrenaline's pumping.
They light you up, and you go.
We asked some of Hollywood's hottest stuntmen to switch antiperspirants and try Degree.
What's body heat activate? Probably means when you get warm, that it starts working.
As your body heat rises, Degree releases extra protection when you need it most.
I heated up, and it cooled me down.
I was on fire, and I was dry.
I don't want my guys to see me sweat. This stuff kept up, even in 40-foot high fireballs. Dry as a baby.
Body heat activated Degree. Your body heat turns it on.
Hey, what's that? What's what? Iceberg! Right ahead!
Need a new fishing boat? New fishing gear? Your favorite auto parts store's gone fishing. Napa's giving away Daiwa fishing kits with Yozuri lures at every store and 8 Ranger boats with Evinrude motors. Come on in for the Gone Fishing sweepstakes and sale. Save on Napa motor oil, now only 59 cents after rebate.
Budner, get these tax documents to our clients fast, but watch our costs.
FedEx can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11. UPS can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11.
Priority Mail can deliver it in 2 to 3 days for $3.
Smart move, Budner.
So, 11, 11, 3, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
A participating advertiser for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is the new Dodge. From cars to minivans to trucks, it's about change. The new Dodge.
Jamie's babysitting $1 million pooch.
This has doggy slobber all over it.
Well, he was. No! Jamie Foxx, tonight on the WB.
Of the tape here in Montreal. Tail of the tape in Montreal. It's 2-0. The Expos lead the Cubs. Dustin Hermanson bailed out of a bad base running mishap by Brad Fulmer, who knocked in 2 with a double off Kerry Wood.
And you wonder if that faceful of mitt in that adventuresome rounding of third will affect Dustin Hermanson, who had great stuff through 3. Let's see if he's shaken up a bit.
Sammy Sosa leading off. Sammy struck out in the first inning.
Hermanson in his 2 previous starts averaged only 5 innings per start. And Felipe Alou knows that his ball club now playing 20 of the next 26 right here in Montreal.
Sammy looks at a slider high. It's 2-1.
When you go through a period where 20 of 26 are at home, that's when you have to start putting something together, because it gets pretty tough on the road in any league.
Good slider there, away, and Sammy whiffed. 2-2.
Sammy just as soon lay off that one, because he's not going to hit it out there. Hermanson's slider looks pretty sharp today.
Tried to heat him up there, but threw it high and away, and it's 3-2 on Sammy.
Sammy against the Expo pitching. And it's fattened up.
One of those home runs came yesterday. 3-2 pitch, struck him out. Sammy looked bad on that one.
There's that slider we were talking about. You might as well let it go, because there's no way in the world you're going to get to it. And this one, well out of the zone. And Hermanson keeps setting them down. 5 strikeouts.
Mark Grace, the only Cub with a base hit this afternoon. I take that back. There are 2 hits. Grace and Brown have them. Single for Mark in the 2nd inning. Pumps his average up to .419 for the year. Another slow one drifts in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Good look at Dustin Hermanson. Mark Grace needs 1 more hit to move into the top 10 all time in Cub history.
How do you like his chances?
I honestly think he'll get it before the season's out. Guys pulling the strings in the dugouts this afternoon. Jim Riggleman, Felipe Alou. Strike to Grace. It's 3-2. Mark's numbers during his hitting streak. We have a few players on this club that are involved in streaks at this moment, as Grace gets a jam sandwich there and pops out to the shortstop Greg Zelanik. 2 away.
Montreal comes into this one 2nd from the bottom in hitting. Only Arizona has hit worse, and their pitching staff struggling with a .555 ERA, but you'd never know it today. Dustin Hermanson has been brilliant in the early going. Maybe Henry can shake things up.
Good cut by Rodriguez, fouls it up the left side. Henry currently batting .378. His 4 home runs lead the club. He's knocked in 9. Having a very nice trip back to his former home here in Montreal. Chance for Henry to see all of his old friends and his former teammates, and I'll tell you, Stoney, he's been greeted warmly by everybody that I've seen him talk to. It's been a very nice thing to see. Very much missed here in Montreal, Henry Rodriguez.
Well, they do like him here, and he's looking out at a pitcher who made his major league starting debut against the Cubs last April 22nd. And Hermanson did pretty well in that one. Henry, a huge favorite here in Montreal.
He's behind in the count, 1-2, and he struck out. Called out looking, and boy, Dustin Hermanson handcuffing the Cubs through the first 4 innings. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It's Montreal 2 and the Cubs nothing.
Hey, what's that? What's what? Iceberg!
Need a new fishing boat? New fishing gear? Your favorite auto parts store's gone fishing. Napa's giving away die-wall fishing kits with Yozuri lures at every store and 8 Ranger boats with Evinrude motors. Come on in for the Gone Fishing sweepstakes and sale. Get the Alpine Gear Multifunction Toolkit 3-pack for only $9.99.
Scott's is a name you can trust. They've been around for years. Now they've got mowers.
You can get a mulching mower, you can get a rear bagger, you can get a side discharge.
You're going to have an easy pull start. All you got to do is push the button once, pull it.
Power propelled, you're going to stand behind one and the mower just goes. All you got to do is hold it and just walk for a while.
Then from there, you can go all the way up to the tractors.
The front end is a solid cast iron piece of material.
You have a great cup holder back here to drink soda while you're lawn mowing here.
They are a beautiful color, just like Home Depot orange.
Both these men have athlete's foot, but only one used the soothing cure. Prescription strength Desinex. It calms the itching and cools the burning while it heals. Got athlete's foot? Get Desinex, the soothing cure.
Got your Bud Light, you can't hit my friend.
Let's go. I'm thirsty.
For the great taste that will fill you up and never let you down.
Looks like you're buying.
Make it a Bud Light.
Coach is calling for the heat.
WGN, 50 years as Chicago's very own.
Kerry Woods against Jose Vidro to open the 4th inning for Montreal. Expos with a 2-0 lead here. Breaking ball fouled at the plate. And Kerry Woods ahead 0-2.
Right now it's 69 pitches. And if he stays on pace, that would take him just about through the 5th inning. Maybe he can shorten up a few counts and get through 6 today.
Vidro spoils what was a pretty good breaking ball there and stays alive at 0-2.
One of the surprises around baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies in first place by a half game over the New York Mets. Phillies at 6-3. The Cubs come in at 8-3, a half game ahead of both Milwaukee and St. Louis, and a game and a half ahead of Houston.
Just missed on the outside, 1-2. Hey, you win 8 out of 11. You ought to be in pretty good shape.
And the Cubs have done just that.
Woods 1-2 pitch upstairs, and again he's thrown a lot of pitches to this leadoff batter. 2-2, and Vidro has fouled off a couple of other ones. Struck him out with a fastball. Strikeout number 5 for Kerry Woods.
Some high heat. This one's up and out of the zone, but you don't have a great deal of time to make up your mind. And Vidro goes down. So watch it again. It's just some heavy heat. And a 5th K. This is the part of the order you don't usually worry too much about. Vidro, Widger, Andrews, and Hermanson.
You don't worry about him if you can throw it over the plate, and that's where Kerry got in trouble in the 3rd inning with the leadoff walk to Hermanson, which led in part to a couple of Expos runs there. That one's a strike, and it's fouled. Nice play by the ball boy down there. Tough hop.
Good hands. And I had the same thing said to me when I was a rookie about the Cardinals. All you have to worry about is Brock and Torrey. Just get out Brock and Torrey. You're going to be okay. So Tyson, it wasn't Tyson at the time, it was Sizemore, McNertney, and Bob Gibson knocked me out of the game. So I got Torrey out twice, Brock out twice, and Sizemore, McNertney, and Bob Gibson sent me to the showers. So I guess you really have to worry about everybody in the major leagues.
Although I'll tell you one thing, Bob Gibson could hit.
Yes, he could.
2-2 pitch, popped high in the air and out of play back near the Expos dugout. Haven't seen the velocity on that fastball tail off very much through 4 innings. He's still throwing it hard.
Well, at his size, it's not going to tail off at this point.
Breaking ball that time. Popped down the left field side, and he can't make the grab.
Well, it was the mound.
Yeah, he stumbled over the practice mound.
I hope he doesn't get an error on that, because
no way.
That was a tough play. He'd have made the play easily, but you go up over the mound, and watch it again. Kevin Ory goes up over the mound trying to keep his footing, and it should be called a no play. Hopefully it will be.
Well, he actually stumbled over the mound before he got the ball and wasn't even looking at the baseball. He was trying to keep his balance there. No error ruled so far anyway, as Wood comes to the plate. Bouncing ball towards second. Morandini smothers it, throws him out. So 2 up and 2 down here in the Expos 4th.
Andrews is a pretty decent fastball hitter. And a couple of years ago, before he had all kinds of physical problems, he did hit 19 home runs. But if you can get anything spinning over the plate, you normally have his number.
Good curveball. Andrews flat out to Sammy Sosa. Actually got some pretty good wood on that one.
He gave him a fastball out over the plate, and Andrews was able to hit it pretty well.
Fouls this one. Back to the barrier behind home plate. It's 0-2. So
and in an effort to economize pitches, no setup pitch, just throw him a curveball and we'll move on to the top of the 5th.
That came in with a fast one again. That one rides up and in. Here's your breaking ball. Nope.
Pittsburgh has taken the lead against the Florida Marlins. They lead 3-1 that game in the top of the 5th.
2-2 pitch. Checked up. It's full. 3-2. He may have struck him out with that pitch had he thrown it earlier in the count.
Well, that's the key, is don't set him up when you can strike him out with a certain pitch.
He got him with that one, which was 3 feet outside, and Service can't find the ball. Now flips it down to Grace and gets Andrews by a step to end the inning. So another strikeout for Kerry Wood. And the Expos are down in order in the 4th. They have a 2-0 lead as we head to the top of the 5th.
Chicago.
Kerry Wood through 4 innings this afternoon finds himself down by a couple as the Cubs come up in the top of the 5th inning. Foul ball back to the screen by Jeff Blauser to start things off. Dustin Hermanson has cruised through the first 4 innings, giving up only 2 hits and nothing close to a run yet for the Cubs. He'll face Blauser, Ory, and Service here in the 5th, and there's strike 2.
Well, Hermanson last year in 28 starts completed a grand total of 1 game. So odds are he's going to need some help from that bullpen.
0-2 pitch. Just missed. 1-2. Blauser struck out in the 2nd inning. 6 strikeouts through 4 innings for Hermanson.
Both guys have 6 through 4.
6 for Kerry Wood.
The only difference in this game is the fact that Kerry, with the leadoff walk to Hermanson and then the walk to Santangelo, set up the 2-run double to Fulmer. Take away those walks, and both pitchers throwing almost identical baseball.
Called strike 3, and Blauser out on strikes for the 2nd time today.
Not much doubt about this. We'll take another look. It's a slider. Jeff thought it was inside, but Frank Pulley Thought it was good enough.
Kevin Ory lined out in an RBI situation in the second inning. A nice play by Expos second baseman Jose Vidro that saved a run.
And actually that was a great at bat because he battled Hermanson and stayed right with that slider as it swept away from him. Now, that time he pulled off the slider, but in an RBI situation when you're pretty much feeling that the pitcher is going to stay away with the breaking ball, Ory kept the shoulder in, went that way, and was just robbed of a base hit.
Ory goes right side again, fouls one off one of Arnie's speakers. I don't think that ball ever came down. It's stuck up there.
Well, in the not too distant future, they'll be taking the roof off the ballpark, and fortunately we will not be here to see it.
You're not a big fan of that deal.
No, especially if you get any inclement weather.
1-2 pitch. Ory hit it hard, but again right at the second baseman, and Vidro throws him out, and that's 2 away. Planning a group outing during 1998? If you have a group of 20 or more, Wrigley Field provides the perfect setting for corporate, family, or social outings. Plenty of seats available, so make your plans now. Be sure to ask about special discounts given to groups of 50 or more. For group ticket info, call 773-404-CUBS.
And there is the roof.
And there's the Cubs' third hit of the afternoon. Scott Service grounds one through the hole between third and short.
Well, you like to see that because even if Kerry Woods does make an out, you lead off with Brant Brown, and there's a hanging slider. Scott takes it through the left side. So this inning, for the first time, we've seen Dustin Hermanson hang a couple of sliders instead of throwing them out away from the right-handers. That's the first sign that Hermanson's stuff is starting to weaken a touch.
And Kerry Wood hit it pretty hard to center field, but Santangelo in his tracks. And that'll do it for the Cubs here in the 5th inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Expos hanging on to that 2-0 lead. Olympic Stadium in Montreal on Easter Sunday. Dan Roan and Steve Stone, happy to have you with us for Cubs baseball this afternoon. The debut effort for Cubs right-hander Kerry Wood, facing his pitching counterpart Dustin Hermanson, and starts him off with a strike. Steve, so far pretty good stuff, but Kerry's going to have to hustle to get out of here with a victory today.
Well, I think that this is going to be the last inning he's going to pitch, and even with the ground out to short, right now he's at the 90 pitch mark. His limit is 100. I don't think Jim Riggleman's going to let him go out there for the 6th inning. So if he is indeed going to win his debut, the Cub bats are going to have to come alive against a very tough and determined Dustin Hermanson.
Hermanson's done a great job today. Shut down the Cubs on only 3 singles. But as you said, he was starting to lose a little bit on that slider in the last inning. We'll see how that transpires in the 6th inning when the Cubs send the top of the order to the plate.
Well, I think the 3rd time through in the 6th inning, the Cubs can start making some noise against Dustin Hermanson.
Grudzielanek steps in, fouls it back, strike 1.
Mark Bichota throwing in the bullpen. And there's Bichota. So with 6 strikeouts and 3 walks to go with 3 hits, you get to the 100 pitch mark in a hurry, and by the time the young man wraps up this 5th inning, he should be knocking at the door at 100.
Good curveball, swing and a miss by Grudzielanek, shaking his head after that one. What am I doing?
It's hard to lay off it, and I'll explain to you why. A lot of guys breaking pitches because they don't get that kind of velocity. the first movement is up. In other words, when the ball leaves your hand, the ball goes up. With Kerry Wood, it doesn't go up. The ball stays on the same plane and then just disappears, so it's even more deceptive. And right-handers, if he gets it close, they might as well go home. They're not going to hit that pitch. And very few curveballers can throw a curveball without the ball going up when it leaves your hand.
Which is the automatic signal to the batter that it's going to be
that it's a breaking ball. Right. And when a batter does see that, all he does is make sure that even if his weight comes forward with his foot, he keeps his hands back, and it's a little easier to hit.
Santangelo looks at a fastball strike. He's down 0-2. Santangelo has reached twice on bases on balls. Wood would like to make him a strikeout victim here. Instead, Santangelo fouls it up into the upper deck. Hanging in there, 0-2.
Well, all things considered, regardless of what happens from here on out, you would have to say that this was a very impressive major league debut from a young man who's got a chance to be a star.
Threw that one behind him. Now that ball bounced in the dirt and then up into the leg of Santangelo.
It doesn't matter. It can hit in the dirt. If it hits the hitter, he goes to first base. And this one does indeed hit the dirt. It hits the back foot and on to first.
Let's pause now for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
Dan Roan and Steve Stone here in Montreal. 2 out in the Expo 5th inning, and Vladimir Guerrero looks at one a little bit low, ball 1.
Guerrero out of the Dominican Republic. At one point, the Dodgers entertained the idea of signing him. They wanted to wait 2 months. The Expos said, we'll sign you right now, and sign he did.
Breaking ball stays up high, 2-0. This guy can hit. There's no question about that.
Well, he can fly, he can hit, he can throw it and catch it. He's a 5-tool player who is going to be a star. He's getting close to that now.
Strike right down the middle. Guerrero has struck out, singled, and scored here this afternoon.
I talked to Fred Clare, the general manager of the Dodgers. I said, how do you sign Wilton and let Vladimir get away? He said, I think we might have made a mistake there. That was the 100th pitch. So Phil Regan knows that the young man is now at his limit. They're hoping to get him out of this 5th with no more histrionics.
2-1 pitch is fouled off the right side, and the count goes even at 2-2. So he's got a chance to finish this inning with one more. 7 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings for the rookie. That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
There it is. Hit on a line to left field. That's a base hit. Rodriguez plays it on a couple of hops and hustles the throw back in.
And the one man that's really found Kerry Wood to his liking is the left-handed rookie Brad Fulmer. And here comes Riggs, and at the 103 pitch mark, that's going to be it for Kerry Wood.
The major league debut of the 20-year-old right-hander from Texas comes to a close. 2 outs into the 5th inning. 2 runs, 4 hits, and 7 strikeouts allowed. Not a bad way to start, but his teammates are going to have to rally to make it a winning afternoon here in Montreal. New pitcher, we'll tell you about him when we come back.